Welcome to the Cat Breeder Sensei Says podcast, a show that supports the reputable breeding of pedigree cats. Several years ago, when I decided to start breeding pedigree cats, Maine Coons specifically, I didn't even know how important it was to get the basic education about breeding cats. I had the same theory or concept about breeding that probably most people do is you get a male, you get a female, and you put them together, and you have kittens. Well, it's not quite that easy. In fact, it's a lot more complicated than that. But I had no idea, and there was no one to tell me that. I did go to cat shows frequently, and I befriended a breeder of Maine Coons that was there, and when I let her know that I was interested in breeding, boy, she tore me a new one. She said, I don't know what I'm doing, and talked down every point that I had about breeding cats, but didn't offer to help me. But when someone really wants to do something, they're going to do it, regardless if they have support from their friends or their family or anyone. If you're really passionate about doing something, then you'll do it whether it's done incorrectly or done the right way. Even if you want to find information about getting started as a breeder of pedigree cats, there's no website that supports this. There was no information. Sure, maybe all of the topics are covered somewhere, but you have to know what to look for and what to search for to get the answers. And there's literally no way to know what you need to search for because you haven't experienced it yet, and you just don't know what lies behind that role of being a pedigree cat breeder. So I decided to turn to the internet, going to Facebook, and looking for people in groups that might be willing to help me, or at least trying to find information about getting started and what are the important factors that I need to know. And I wanted to do it the right way. I knew that there was a wrong way and a right way, and I wanted to do it absolutely the right way, no matter what, at any expense and with all regard. Just I wanted to do everything with the utmost respect for these cats and with integrity. But boy, I'm here to tell you, there is no support on social media whatsoever when it comes to new breeders entering the market. And there's a lot of people that are, becoming introduced to pedigree cats because of social media and because people are sharing photos and stories and videos about these breeds that maybe someone's never heard of before, that they also get their interest sparked in becoming breeders. If they mention anything about breeding cats, oh my gosh, you get torn down so fast, and it's ugly. The people out there, and it's breeders that do this, they will they'll just rip you apart. It's really sad, really. I don't even know, a better word to describe it other than it's kind of disgraceful. I have a belief system that if you know something that someone wants to know, then share your knowledge. This is a plentiful world, and you should not have scarcity mentality. I'm not sure what the purpose is behind the breeders not wanting others to enter their market. I don't know if it's fear of competition, or maybe it has a stereotypically bad rap with people entering the market that don't have a mentor or the education that they need. I haven't really pinpointed that. I want to say it might be just fear of competition, but I'm not sure. It's a really bizarre phenomenon that even to this day, after several years of seeing it with my own eyes every single day, I can't explain it. I can't explain why the breeders, established breeders, are so hateful to one another and to new people that come along, instead of embracing those people and offering their insights and their knowledge and their experience so that that person can also get on track. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you think about it. If someone's asking for help and they want to start breeding cats, no one will help. They tear you down and are really mean and ugly to you and try to scare you out of that space that you're in. On the other hand, they're saying, you don't know what you're doing, and, what are you doing, tampering with these cats? And so, what is expected of a new breeder if there's no one who's willing to help? I mean, breeding cats is already a controversial topic. That's no surprise to anyone. I think it has that stigma attached of, backyard breeders. They love to throw that word around. I've sat down before and with a good friend of mine who's also a breeder and said, what is a backyard breeder? I mean, what is this description of a backyard breeder? And it's kind of ugly, like, way too many cats and they're all crammed up together, and there's no pedigrees, there's no health testing, there's no cattery management. Everybody's stressed out and dirty and hungry and skinny and starving and unhealthy. That's it, kind of in a nutshell what a backyard breeder would look like if we drew a picture of it. But, I think it's completely opposite. Of the breeders that I've met personally and have visited them, it's not like that at all. So the people who are actually reputable and have integrity when it comes to breeding and handling these animals do it with the utmost respect. They're not that stereotypical backyard breeder that everyone sees when they first hear that term. They're respectable, they're very clean, and the animals are well kept and taken care of, and maybe sometimes better than the humans themselves. So we have to get past that taboo topic of I breed cats and having everyone look at you like you have some, weird object growing out of your forehead, to having a little respect for what you do, because it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time and patience and money and constant learning and networking, and there's so much involved when it comes to that people don't see, what goes on behind the scenes. So the purpose of this podcast and our website, catbreedersensei.com, is really to help those people who are interested in being a reputable breeder with integrity and offering support. So giving you a place to go where you just can't go and get the type of support that you need anywhere else. This is where you'll be able to come and get the answers and get the support and have the community that you're looking for, whether you're new, whether you have been doing this for several years and just, want to be around people who support each other, or whether you are experienced and maybe want to be that person who is the difference and offers the mentorship to new people who are really taking this seriously. So we're really giving honest and dedicated people a resource and a community to belong to, and all share a common interest, which is the love and the interest in breeding pedigree cats. Fortunately for me, I was one of those people who was not going to hang my hat up just because some mean old bully breeder was trying to talk me out of it. I was pretty insistent on making it happen for myself, and I dug in deep to, really look for information and talk to people and kind of tugging on their coattails until they stopped ignoring me and stopped being hateful to me. And, that worked for me. So, I've made it. Of course, I made mistakes in the beginning and will continue to make mistakes because that is just human. Um, One of the biggest things of breeding pedigree cats is making hard decisions. And sometimes you make the wrong decisions. And that's because there's no one there to help and offer that advice that you might need to, help make a better decision. So if you're passionate about getting into the space of breeding a pedigree cat and you have good intent and you really want to do what's right, and that's focus on health, temperament, and type of your awesome pedigree cat breed, then Cat Breeder Sensei is for you. So I want you to be prepared to listen to our podcast, subscribe to us, make sure you don't miss any episodes that come out. Tell your friends about the podcast, share this podcast on your social media accounts, and help be the positive change that the cats need. I'm your host, April Catito, and I will see you next time on Cat Breeder Sensei Says.